Hello and welcome to the Career Catalyst podcast. I'm Xenia Peresicha, and today we'll talk about women in life sciences and the challenges they face at many different stages of their careers. We already celebrated Amazing Women in March, the Women's History Month. Women who played a significant role in science will be forever engraved in golden history. Marie Curie, Marie Anning, Dian Fossey, Virginia Apgar, Grace Hopper, and many, many others that inspired thousands of women across generations. From young girls to choose a professional path in science, to inspiring other female peers along their career paths. But attracting and retaining female talent in life sciences remains challenging. Research shows that a gender-diverse workforce at the board level increases profitability and productivity. So, taking this big statement, the life sciences industry appears to have gender equality nailed. But after just scratching the surface, you can reveal the prevailing inequality. The headline statistic is that women make up 49% of all life sciences employees worldwide. Great job, right? Well, it's a start. Looking closely, true gender balance is only seen in lower level positions. Once you reach leadership, you guessed it, there are not many women, not to say very little. And at the board level, that drops to 10% only. Here is where diversity carries most of the weight. Not only it enhances profitability, but it also provides role models. Representation is essential to individuals. You're more likely to dream big and picture yourself in a leadership position if you've seen or witnessed other peers succeed. Going down the corporate ladder, diversity is not a nuance. On the contrary, diversity is vital for well-being, belonging, innovation, and, of course, a talent factory to fill those top seats. So while the 49 statistic is promising and ahead of other STEM industries, we've just started the journey. Unfortunately though, research shows that the pandemic has delayed this journey, disproportionately affecting women's careers. Many factors have played a role, such as the type of industry, type of work, and gender pay gap. When households weighed their options during the pandemic, often the decision was easy. Women becoming stay-at-home carers was the best financial solution during lockdowns and periods of isolation. So, what can we do about it? Let's discuss this with the Kelly experts. Today, we will talk about attracting and retaining female talent in life sciences with Semillia Dennis, Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Manager, and Daniella Howe, Science Consultant for Kelly Life Sciences International. Semillia, from the Diversity, Equity and Inclusions Manager's point of view, what is your take on women's role in creating a better world and a better workplace?
See, I don't view this as a woman's role, but more of an opportunity for the organisation to be able to advance on their commitment of equity inclusion, which should be around creating a space where everyone feels that they can bring their best selves to work. That's how you will truly create a better workplace and a place where people feel like they belong. There's a few ways of how organisations are able to do this. One, be driven by data. Good data will always show you where there are opportunities for improvement. As an example, do you conduct pay or gender pay audits? If so, does your workforce know about it? Do they know how to find it? How often this data is produced, etc.? Is it publicly available? If it's not something that you do, why? Is it something that you'll consider doing in the future? And if not, why not? But be transparent with your workforce. Everyone knows it's long since been a hot topic around gender pay gap and where women are being paid in comparison to their male counterparts for seemingly the same roles. And so there's definitely an opportunity for improvement on this. So share it with your employees. If you're not where you think you would like to be, then just be clear about the steps that you're taking to correct any inequities. They'll respect you more for it, and they'll appreciate the openness. Is your workforce aware of how to advocate for themselves during times of salary negotiation, whether for a new role or a newly promoted role? When are these conversations appropriate? What's the going rate for that role and skill set out in the market? What criteria has been used to assess the salary package which has been offered? And what's included in this as its totality? Pensions, bonus, Medicare, whatever the case may be. What are the career paths? Does your workforce understand, or do they actually have a career path? If they do, they understand what that is, and what the expectations are of them, and how they're able to progress along the career ladder. If not, are there opportunities for you to help them to do this? A wider area of consideration is benefits. What type of benefits do you offer? Are they fit for purpose? How often are they reviewed? What does the benefits and compensation team look like? Are they a truly diverse team who are able to really consider the needs of the workforce and ensure that the benefits that are offered are aligned with that? Or there are opportunities to make improvements there to ensure that whatever it is that you are offering to your workforce as a benefit is truly a benefit. It's going to be utilised, it's going to be understood, and it's going to be cost effective for the organisation. So if there's education around helping people to understand what their benefits package is like and how they access it, then make that available. Do you do any sort of compensation audits? How often is this done? Does the workforce understand this again? If there are any stats that can be shared around why things have been chosen, why things have been removed, etc., then do this, because that again will help people to understand where the organisation is. Taking some of these steps will help create a space of understanding, open up dialogue around the subject of financial compensations within roles.
I too see the challenges in providing career progression support. Without question, gender affects the opportunities to progress within a career, with challenges both internal and external to the company. Business as usual should include regular effective one-to-ones, but further there are many other ways that exist to support people while addressing these disparities. This can include role models, mentors, coaching and training opportunities, among others. In terms of role models, people knowing their senior leaders is a sign of excellent company culture. If yours are hidden away in an office, find ways to showcase their work and achievements to the world. You can do this for all leaders, not just women. In terms of training programs, a disproportionate number of women feel they lack skills that would apply to other roles. If you have created training programs, especially for technical or scientific positions, consider opening these up to other employees. Extending your training to everyone allows people to develop new skills, benefits the business by encouraging people to seek out new roles within the organization instead of elsewhere, and encourages people to learn more about the work of other teams. Coaching and mentoring schemes are fantastic ways to inspire your workforce. They also allow coaches and mentors to learn new skills and find additional meaning at work. You can offer these schemes to everyone, but it's particularly compelling at specific career points, such as becoming a manager, returning from long-term absence, such as maternity leave, and after a particular length of service, perhaps 5 years. These initiatives create opportunities for everyone involved. It's hard to find a reason not to.
So that leaves us with Semillia's third factor, flexible working. You can argue that flexible working can attract all kinds of talent. Still, it particularly attracts women, as they are often the primary caregiver. A whopping 70% of primary carers are women in the USA. This situation can make fitting work around responsibilities incredibly challenging, even for a trivial commitment such as the school run. Sure, there are plenty of reasons for making flexibility unfeasible, but we invite you to reconsider those. Put them under the microscope. Don't look at what's impossible. Try to come up with solutions that are possible. Semillia, can you please tell us more about how to give women better opportunities?
Whatever solutions are put in place, they have to be equitable. They have to be able to serve the population of workforce without being disadvantageous to a group. And so there are several ways that organisations can do this. Think about the flexibility. The pandemic showed us that there are many roles that are able to be done as either totally remote or as a hybrid option. And so if it was able to work then and people were productive, is it something that is able to be continued? Now, this will depend on the type of role, the expectation, client-facing versus support, level of responsibility, etc., etc. So there are varying things that need to be assessed. But some of the options are allowing the workforce to be totally remote, or to have a balance of hybrid versus office work, condensed work, split shifts, part-time, even job shares, or allowing people to kind of show up where they can. And when I say that, there are some organisations that throw hours of work out of the window and say, do what you need to do to get the job done. And so if for one person that means jumping online at 7 a.m. every day for X amount of hours, because that's when they work best, that's when they are more productive, that's when they deliver their best creative ideas, they can do that and get everything that needs to be done. For other people, that's working later in the evening. For some people, that's doing a traditional 9 to 5. For some people, that's splitting it, and so they have a balance of work and home. And as long as it works for the organisation and they are getting the productivity that they need out of their workforce, the benefit is that you retain talent, that you attract candidates from the market when they know and understand that you see people as opposed to numbers, or as opposed to having a resource on a seat. For some, it may be job shares. Job shares work very well in some roles, some industries, and some organisations. And in other organisations, there are other alternatives that they're able to put forward that delivers the results. Ultimately, a happy workforce is going to be a productive one, is going to be one where it uses creativity and innovation, where people tend to stay a little bit longer because they feel like that they are being seen, they are being invested in, and they are being valued for the work that they are bringing. And so at a time where in some industries there's a real shortage on being able to attract and retain talent, it's a very good opportunity for organisations to be able to review some of their practices and assess whether or not they can make necessary changes.
Semillia, it's interesting that you mention what's high on the priority list of employees. Daniella, I wonder if you have any suggestions on how to know what makes employees tick.
Yes. Asking your employees is a must. Your employees' input is very valuable in this regard. Employee surveys and exit interviews are two powerful sources of data. You should also make sure you record gender in your surveys to compare significant differences in how things such as your benefits, career progression, leadership and culture are perceived. Exit interviews and surveys can be rather dull and daunting. You will need to work to overcome this. You should aim to make your questions insightful to give value to the information you receive. Allow people to answer employee surveys anonymously to encourage honest feedback, and always include a free text box with the prompt, "Is there anything else you would like to say about the company?" Open-ended questions often lead to a wealth of previously unknown information. To get the most from these, you'll need to analyze the responses and record the data. You can compare each new set of results with previous years and spot trends. It's such vital data you must wring out every drop of value instead of filing it away, never to be seen again. Finally, you should not forget that if you make any changes to your business because of feedback, you should share this information with your employees. It's empowering and will inspire more feedback, as well as make it clear that you do listen and act on what people say. It's a win-win situation.
Now it's time for action. Do you feel you're already doing most of what we discussed today? Make sure you're promoting this work. And not just internally. Feature news and case studies on your website. Include details about flexible working in your job adverts. Share stories about coaching, mentoring, relationship, or your women in leadership roles. Doing the work is the hard part. Don't let your efforts fall short of their full potential by keeping that work hidden. Our next episode of the podcast will be dedicated to disabled talent in life sciences. Stay tuned.